The Grenfell Tower Fire, the tragedy that changed the UK forever. On the night of 14 June 2017, a devastating fire broke out at Grenfell Tower, a 24-story residential building in North Kensington, West London. What began as a small kitchen fire quickly turned into one of the deadliest and most shocking disasters in modern UK history. How the fire started. At around 12:54 a.m., a fire began in a fourth-floor apartment, believed to be caused by a faulty refrigerator. Fires in high-rise buildings were not uncommon, and UK fire safety rules assumed such fires could be contained within one flat. But that night, something went terribly wrong. Why the fire spread so fast? Grenfell Tower had recently undergone renovation. New external cladding was added to improve the building's appearance and insulation. However, this cladding was highly flammable. Within minutes, flames raced up the outside of the building, spreading floor by floor like a chimney. The fire engulfed the entire tower, trapping hundreds of residents inside. The stay-put policy. Residents were initially told to stay inside their flats, following long-standing fire safety advice for tower blocks. But as the fire spread uncontrollably, this guidance became deadly. Many residents were trapped by thick smoke, had no working fire alarms, faced blocked or dark stairwells, could not escape in time. Emergency services worked heroically, but the speed and intensity of the fire overwhelmed all expectations. The human cost. By morning, 72 people were dead, including children, families, and elderly residents. Many victims were from immigrant and low-income communities. Grenfell Tower became a symbol of neglect, inequality, and systemic failure. Survivors lost not only loved ones, but also their homes, belongings, and sense of safety. Public outrage and investigation. The disaster sparked national and international outrage. Questions flooded in. Why was dangerous cladding approved? Why were safety warnings ignored? Why were residents' concerns dismissed for years? A public inquiry revealed cost-cutting decisions prioritized money over safety. Residents had repeatedly warned about fire risks. Regulations were outdated and poorly enforced. How Grenfell changed the UK. The Grenfell tragedy forced the UK to confront deep problems in building safety laws, social housing standards, and accountability of authorities and developers. Major changes followed. Review of fire safety regulations, removal of unsafe cladding nationwide, new building safety legislation, increased focus on residents' voices. Yet for many, justice still feels slow and incomplete. A lasting legacy. Grenfell Tower stands as a permanent reminder of what happens when warnings are ignored and lives are undervalued. Every year, memorials are held. Families continue to fight for justice, and the question remains, how could this have been prevented? Closing line, perfect for video end. Grenfell was not just a fire, it was a failure, one that changed the UK forever. What happened after the fire? When the sun rose on 14 June 2017, the UK woke up to images that shocked the world. A blackened tower, smoke still rising, and families searching desperately for loved ones. Survivors stood outside with nothing, no clothes, no documents, no home. Many had escaped barefoot. Others never came out. For days, confusion ruled.
Families could not confirm who was alive. Official death numbers changed repeatedly. Bodies were so badly burned that identification took months. This added another layer of trauma for the victims' families. Survivors spoke out. Residents later revealed chilling truths. Fire alarms did not work properly. Only one staircase served the entire building. Fire extinguishers were missing or unusable. Repeated safety complaints were ignored for years. Residents had warned, "It's only a matter of time before someone dies here." No one listened. Grenfell became proof that poor people's voices were ignored. Government promises and broken promises. The government promised fast rehousing, full support, swift justice, but reality was different. Many survivors spent months or years in temporary hotels, suffered mental health crises, felt abandoned by authorities. Public trust in the government collapsed. The Grenfell Inquiry. A public inquiry was launched to uncover the truth. It revealed flammable cladding should never have been used. Fire safety tests were manipulated. Companies passed responsibility to each other. Cost-cutting saved money, not lives. Yet years passed with no criminal convictions, no senior officials jailed, no company fully held accountable. This deepened public anger. Nationwide impact. Grenfell exposed a national crisis. Thousands of UK buildings were found to have unsafe cladding, poor fire safety, no clear responsibility for repairs. Residents across the UK lived in fear, unable to sell homes or afford safety fixes. Grenfell was not an isolated accident, it was a system-wide failure. Laws changed, but slowly. Because of Grenfell, new building safety laws were introduced. Developers were forced to remove unsafe cladding. Fire safety rules were rewritten. Residents gained more legal rights. But critics argue these changes came too late and too slowly. A symbol that will never fade. Grenfell Tower still stands, covered in memorial banners, photos, and messages. Every year, on 14 June, silence falls across London at midnight. 72 lives are remembered, 72 names read aloud, 72 stories that should never have ended that way. Grenfell changed the UK not because of the fire alone, but because it exposed inequality, neglect, and silence at the heart of society. If this had been a luxury building, it never would have happened.